So we all set, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for New Sports, Victor Allen's own look at sports, written, directed, and produced by Victor Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the man that the ladies call sexual chocolate. He's Vic.
Yeah, I waited for it. See, I don't say anything now. Just wait for the screen. What can I say? Hey, this is going to be tame because we're on a tight schedule. But I can say this: when you actually turn around and think about what kind of sporting week we have, this is going to be shocking. We keep moving Super Bowl closer to Valentine's Day. There's no break in the action. You have to go from pain, suffering, hit, hoopla, now to loving. It goes from the men's day, not just this is a men's day.
Yes.
It's men's day to the ladies' day, and we have to give them equal attention. Now, before we even go there, I have to say this.
You're on this tip. Huh?
Yeah, I'm on this tip. I'm going to hit you on this one, man. I got you. I got you. So, let me just say this. Here's the trending tweets that we have. I love it. See, I love when you say
I think you said twinding.
Twinding. No, I said trending tweets. Roll back and watch it.
All right.
I got it, man. See, you don't try to mess with me. Hey, look, you guys, welcome to New Sports. This is how we do it, man. Check it out, man. All I can say is the lead story is not Super Bowl today, but I will tell you what the trends are. Right now, we got you're wrong, man. Trending, and I'm going to say this. I'm not going to go by our publishing because I didn't update it. So I'm going to just tell you what is the trends right now. I got Jeremy Lin. If you guys never heard of this guy, New York Knicks basically need a point guard. They're waiting for Baron Davis. So what is it like to have somebody come off the bench, a rookie, and celebrate that they win in New York against the Jazz without Carmelo, without Stoudemire? 28-8. When you dish out 28-8 on your lead day, and you get to see how this guy plays, this is what's missing with New York. Now, here's my question. I'm just saying this. Is this a blip? Or is Jeremy showing you, look, I use my talents to empower others. I'm not trying to be a scorer, which was missing on the New York Knicks. Let me say, Mario, do you think this is just a blip?
No. I think what's happening, and I've been one of the people who've been kind of shocked by things, is that you have a real changing of the guard around the league. And teams that, as they're attempting to adjust to losing players or aging players or other changes in their program,
right?
Like the tide rises and the tide falls.
Yep.
New names,
right?
New personages are stepping forward to be known and recognized,
right?
And that's what's happening all around the place. We're seeing people step forward to lead the team.
I agree.
That we're not used to seeing lead the team,
right? Because
it's a changing of the guard,
right?
And you have to, like I said, the tide rises, the tide falls. It happens.
Now, let me just say this. Now, they say when a certain person gets a spot on the roster, and the spot basically is saying, I'm the point guard. Baron Davis is the one laying in wait. And whether it's injury or out of shape, at this point, we're almost beyond a third of the season. When somebody shows you this, is it better to go ahead and let this guy have a more substantial time? Or do you put all your eggs in the basket and wait for Baron, who has experience, but he's a step slower, and you only have the playoffs around the corner, and they're not positioned yet for the playoffs yet? I
think it's a done deal. I think even before the season started,
okay,
I like Baron Davis, but I think there was a question even before the season started on how he was going to do.
Right.
I think that was already clear.
Right.
And so, but in some ways, he's a solid person to have on your team. To put maybe even to pull off the bench or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, we knew the clock was ticking on him already. I think they knew too. I don't think it's ever been any question that he was filling a role for a season.
Right. I got you.
And not only that, I can't make myself say 2 seasons.
No.
I can't even say 2, Vic, for a season. He was filling a role for a season. Right. We still wish him the best, even though we all feel if he does, as he gets older, he has to have extreme conditioning in order to continue to play.
You almost go like you have to turn around and develop this. New York needed a booster shot because they were underperforming. And let's just be real. We love Carmelo. We love Stoudemire. But they both are of the same makeup. Their focus is that they're not going to present some assist. That's just not the nature of their game. And so they have to play other roles. When you all of a sudden defer to assisting and you're not trying to score, but you still have to do other things. So if you're trying to assist, you got to go hit the boards. You have to do other things. You just can't say, let me throw the ball away. And I think the part that happens here, he's going to make players better. Will he perform consistently like this? They say when you're in the league and they get to know you, they clamp down on you real quick. They say, okay, new cat in the building.
Well, once everybody knows about you and you're not a secret, then that's a different level, because now the coaches are going to start focusing on neutralizing you based on your apparent weaknesses.
Right. Now, I'm going to do something here to go off track because I don't have it in the publishing, so you don't have to worry about moving on it, because there is a trend that is beginning to have what I call the tweetum effect. And if you want to talk about partying, New England Patriots lose the Super Bowl. Okay. Now, so before I go to another subject, I just want to let you know this trend is coming with Rob Gronkowski. It just hit. Man is partying hard, and they got video of it. Now, we can search for it, but I think what I've seen so far, we're not allowed to show, but you may find something later in the show.
So they're trying to criticize him for that?
They're saying this man lost, and when you see the video, he's having a good time.
Everybody dries their sorrows a different way.
There you go.
Where you supposed to go? Sit in a little chair in the corner?
Right.
You got your,
Right.
Be careful. This is where MIA's gesture becomes relevant.
Now you see what I'm talking about.
That's when it becomes relevant, because there is the time where telling somebody F you is the most appropriate response.
Right.
It is the most appropriate response.
Right. And
that's maybe one of those.
There's some major sports programs. Of course, you're going to have the old traditional cats going like, this is what some of them are endorsing.
How I'm supposed to take failure.
They're actually saying when you lose, don't be shown having a good time. That's like going into mourning. I said, well, is there a time limit for mourning?
Yeah, like who gets to set this shit? Whose rules are this, and who the hell do you think you are?
Right.
No, I don't give that. See, I don't give those kind of rights to anybody.
Right. And
no one.
And let me say this. I haven't done this yet because I want to get to this because we don't have that much time. I'll say this because we referenced new sports with a number of categories. Something for the ladies, pimping, big pimping, balling, upset, let down, Jeremy Lin, just so I can assign this, Jeremy Lin for his first outing on New York Knicks, he was balling, Mario. I'm just going to do that. I didn't want to go back and go to it, but I want to give him his respect and his props because it's too early, so I didn't want to make it a big thing.
I love it, Dick. There's so many new names that are exciting. I'm excited by some of the big men in the league. I'm seeing stuff around.
Right.
The games, even on the Clippers, watching the Clippers.
Right.
It's just there's different names you're hearing now in a regular way who are the challenge, and I find it exciting, even though Charles says that it's bad basketball.
Of course, he's stuck in a time zone. And if you go look back in those days, they played a little bit different and the shorts were tighter. But anyway, let me say this. Another subject. I know I'm hearing about these subjects. I'm just saying real quick and passing over it.
You are just immediate and responding to the news wire. Wow.
Gronk,
Victor Allen.
I'm going to say this. Gronk, straight out, man, before I go to the next story, you big pimping, you balled, you played with an injury.
You want me to try to find it? When we try to find it,
it's been, we can show it later if you want, if we're exiting or whatever.
Want me to look for it?
You can look for it, but I'm just saying
there might be a YouTube video.
It might be. It could go in later after, at the close of the program. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying this. I saw the video. I like the idea that the man said, I've done my job. I've moved on. I don't internalize stuff. I absolutely am so for that type of attitude. You're not supposed to dwell. And I hate to say this, as you get older, you do dwell a lot. So move on. That's how we used to do it. Just move on. So right now he's big pimping. He was balling. I don't know if he's something for the ladies because I saw him doing his thing. Maybe some questions about how you handle yourself on the dance floor, but man, big ups to you. Now, I'm going over to something else just to mention it. Madonna is still the trending tweet as well with MIA tagged with her. So I'm just letting you guys know. Still got motion. Now, I don't know if that's because of Madonna or MIA. I'm going to let you guys decide who's pushing the trend more. If it's MIA without Madonna or Madonna without MIA, are they working in like a synchronicity? And so the whole thing I'm saying is that's hot right now in the trends. Now, I got to get to somebody that Mario probably doesn't want to follow up on. And let me just say this. Oh, I can't say that. I'm going to be nice. Let me just go over here. I'm going to go straight to the Kobe side.
What?
I'm going to go to Kobe. See, I was going to sit back and say...
I have nothing bad to say. Kobe has his place in history. That's why I backed off of it.
I know.
There's no question he is at least one of the greatest Lakers.
Right. But let me just say this, though, because I think the story has to be set up based on the premise that when you all of a sudden hit a milestone, you still have to look at the importance of when you did it and how did it come about. Well, when you lose... and you shoot like 10 for 26, and you get 28 points in a loss. Okay, so when you lose and you break, about that. Yeah, all right. So I'm just saying. Now here it is.
He broke the record.
Yes,
and while having a bad game.
Yes,
only because he needed so few points.
That's right. So
he had a bad game and still broke the record.
And let me say,
and you know what? That's karma's a mother.
That's what I'm saying. See, my whole point is this. I know if he's as competitive as we think he is, we're making a big deal of this, but he would have loved to do it in a win on the floor. Or Staples.
Did you hear what he said, Vic? When he was asked about where he thought he was in his career, and he said, he came out and said, "Do you think I'm going to just hang around and be willing to average 18 and 19 points a game?"
No, that's the attitude you want, man.
He said,
that's my whole point. See, everybody's doing this right now. They're already saying you're fifth on the all-time scoring list, so it's a chance you may get up to, that fourth place. You may get up to Karl Malone's territory, maybe not. Kareem's first, Karl's second, Michael Jordan, I believe, is third. I forgot who's fifth. Is it? I'm bad. I feel bad about this. But anyway, I'll say Shaquille O'Neal is in that group. The whole thing where they're in the top five, the whole thing.
Here they are.
Yeah. My whole point is this. If you're not winning, is the story hot, heavy, and can you celebrate it the same way if you're losing?
No, you can't. It's tainted some. You still celebrate, I think, but no, it's no question. It's tainted. It's tainted.
Yes.
It gets tainted.
Yeah. It
just gets tainted.
It gets tainted. Now, here's the thing. When you don't have that many choices, and I'll say this right offhand, Bynum is bringing what he can. 20 and 20. When you get 20 points, 20 rebounds, have you arrived?
That's pretty good.
For somebody who's basically still having to work their way through.
That's pretty good.
That's my imprint. Should they go to him more often, or will he be worn down because of the conditioning?
That's a different decision. That's why I said, to me, that's why you have coaches.
Okay.
Because you have to be because don't you need other information in order to make that decision?
Yes, you do.
About his health?
Yep.
Because you could overdo it and hurt him.
Right.
Or you could not, that's all has to be done with some professional insight.
That's right. And I'm saying
I wouldn't even suppose to make that decision.
And let me say this: if you're point guard and if only three people scoring on your team and you have no bench, you're forcing Powell, Bynum, and Kobe to say we have to take more shots, whether it's a high percentage or low percentage, because none of you else.
Well, they do players. Anyway. I think no matter what way you look at this,
right.
This season, they have to take more shots.
There you go.
To me, no matter what, you need Powell more now. The offensive role, they have to be aggressive offensively.
There you go.
But the thing is, I think they have the right people to do that, though.
They do. They just don't have a bench. See, the problem is anybody get injured. One person get injured off the big three.
They ain't the best team anyway, but still they can make a reasonable shot.
Right. I think the high position that they'll finish pre-playoffs is third and the low is sixth. Somewhere in there. I just don't see them in 1 and 2. All right, we're going to go over and exit this wonderful question. Now, Kobe, you already know about him setting the record. Now, before we even say this, so I'm not going to even qualify this because I think I know Mario's answer. Is Kobe always balling, big pimping? I don't know if he's something for the ladies. He's
all of those things.
He's all those things, isn't he?
He's all those things.
Okay, now
I'm not a Kobe fan, but I'm not good. I'm not a hater. I'm not stupid.
Right.
Yeah. He's an excellent ball player.
Right.
The debate when you talk about all time. Everybody has different criteria for that. That's part of the whole thing.
Right.
Some people judge it by the number of championships.
Yeah.
Other people don't use that.
Hey, championships is the bar that you want to be discussed on, no matter what you do.
Yeah, even though it's insinuated and implied that the more championships you have.
Right.
But we also know that there's a bunch of people I was looking at people with Super Bowl rings.
Right.
In a different sport, of course.
Right.
There's a bunch of people with Super Bowl rings who didn't even play. There's a couple people who got two from being on the bench.
Right. And we know what we mean. Leaders. The high point man or woman, depending on your sport and everything. But let me just say this. I'm going to mention the names because they've already been discussing it this morning. Various shows and topics. You're going to hear this because his career's not over yet. But I'm going to give you the names of the Big Ten. And the question is will he fit in the Big Ten outside of it? And within the Big Ten, where would you put him at? Now, I'll say the names right offhand. It's Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Tim Duncan, Akeem Olajuwon, the Dream, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Karl Malone. If you had to squeeze him in now, and there's no ranking here, but I can tell you everybody's ranking so far, number 1 and 2, everywhere, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. That is like solid. Because one is, where would you rank?
You got to put Larry Bird. Okay, let me see. The whole issue with Magic to me is always going to incite a debate about Larry Bird. Because to me, if I had to actually compare the two careers,
right,
even including the head-to-head matchups,
right,
I give Bird this little bit of an edge over Magic.
Why is that?
Because of the specific games that came down head-to-head,
right,
and their numbers and their championships. They both. So even at the least, you got to put Bird right there with Magic,
right,
no matter what, almost. And people,
but they have less championships. He has less championships, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Magic has 5. Bird has 3.
Yeah, but still, in terms of career-wise, and even especially in head-to-head matchups,
right,
that was always the argument. I still said what Bird also had over Magic is that in the last seconds of the final games,
right,
he shot like 100%.
Right. And I think the
Period.
part, I think what they did is say they shared in changing the game. Larry brought some of the old tradition, what Boston used to have, Bill Russell days, that whole thing, the traditional model of how you play. Lakers brought Showtime. They brought the entertainment value, and you needed Showtime for everybody to go to this next level. They revolutionized the game, and they said they owe that more to both of them, specifically because they were counterparts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think you got to put Bird up there. And I think you got to shift Wilt up, because Wilt actually, his ability to run and play the game that way puts him in there too. Now, after that, Vic, it gets a lot harder for me to really be honest now where Kobe fits in, because I already named the ones I think are ahead of him.
Right.
Michael Jordan, see.
You don't think Magic's in the top 5?
No. I just know he gets to stay ahead of Kobe.
That's the hard part.
See, that's what I'm saying. Kobe actually ranks way up in there.
Who made players
Kobe
better?
Actually, to me, is going to be somewhere in the top 5.
You know what the argument is?
But he's actually comes above Tim.
Right.
He's got to actually come above. See, Kareem is. You got him listed. Kareem has got. He's above kind of Shaq to me.
Right.
He's above Tim Duncan. There's a debate whether he's above. He may be equal. I don't know if he's better than above Carl.
You know what they're saying right now? Let me give you an idea of who's a silent person that because they don't bring Showtime, that they actually have a lot because they carried. They said had to carry more. Larry Bird had McHale, Parrish, and everybody else. Dennis Johnson. Magic Johnson had Worthy, Kareem, what we call Hall of Fame players, right? They said, what happens to Tim Duncan when he basically carried it himself? A la 3 championships, one with David Robinson, but he carried it with less talent around.
I don't define it that way.
I know,
but I think that Tim Duncan was the cornerstone of a team that showed great teamwork.
Right.
So to me, I remember all those games.
But just one superstar.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he had one superstar. But to say, I remember those games. He didn't carry them.
No.
He didn't carry them. There were a whole bunch of people who stepped up and really made a huge contribution.
Yeah, they did. But
especially when he had off nights.
He was the defense, the rebounder, the leading scorer. So he carried them in that way, not just with everything else.
Like I'm just saying, I don't know if I would define those teams in that way. That's why, see, to me, Tim Duncan, he's not capable really of pulling that off well. When they have to do that, they always lost.
Well, 4 NBA championships says something.
No, that's what I'm saying. The championship has to do with the fact that they played the best as a team.
Right.
It had a lot to do with their coach.
Right.
It had a lot to do with the other players that stepped up and played well as a team.
There you go.
And I think that's what it really demonstrates over the individual, so specifically when it comes to him.
So here's the part that I think everybody's discussing. Is Kobe in the top 5?
Somewhere
bottom
in there.
5.
Somewhere in the top 5.
I
just can't. That's a long. You could have a debate forever.
I know, but see, I give you credit. You're the only one so far.
He is in the top 5.
Nobody hasn't been top 5 yet.
Really?
No, they all have
because
between
to me, you have
5,
to debate
6, 7
him
to 10.
Even with Magic, at some point in time, as the greatest Laker. Okay, you could debate this. See, at some point in time, you really think, to me, his accomplishments, at least scoring wise, past Magic. Surpass Magic.
I think the part that they're saying is that Magic never took a day off. Jordan never took a day off. They say Kobe, temperamental, at times when things not going a certain way.
Now, remember, I told you everybody has their criteria. That's why I said, does that count as a criteria? I don't know. That's why I said, to me, and just like you counted the numbers, right?
Yep.
Remember, some people go like, even without the championships, you did this.
Right.
That's why I said that's part of always the discussion to me. Even though this is a wonderful list of folks to be compared to.
Let me just say this: exiting out, if you had to say at the end of his career, because like you said, would you and I both agree, by the mentality of Kobe Bryant, until his legs are broken and he has to use a walker, he ain't leaving this game. Do you think he will crack the top 3 in all-time points scored? And would that change his position?
Barring injury, yes, but I don't know if he'll be able to sustain. The other thing is that even with regard to your first statement, because he's already self-defined himself as not being willing to accept a certain degrees of drop-off based on what he's already said, you may not get what you said, because if he's not willing to score to average 19 points a game, then to me, he's actually saying he's going to leave the game early.
Yeah.
Because to me, you may get a drop-off that drops him below that
prematurely
in 1 year. You could go from White to averaging 16 points a game.
I agree.
That's what I'm actually scared it was going to happen when he goes to 16 points or something like that, because that's what you usually see. They have such a drop-off all of a sudden after injury that you lose 10 points or something off your average.
Well, hey, you guys, that's it. Until tomorrow, when I have a kinder and gentler sports subject. That's it for New Sports, man. I'm done. You gonna take it out, man?
All right, everybody. Written, directed, and produced by Victor Allen. That's New Sports. Victor's own unique look at today's sports world. It's hot. It's unique. It's New Sports. Yeah.
I feel empowered. I feel real good about this. Because, when you can sit there and